Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. We're doing this show a little bit early today because I have some stuff I got to take care of, and I didn't want to miss another show, so doing a little bit early. So I apologize to those guys that are used to the normal hour. We're doing it early today so we can get it done, and I don't have to miss a show. So, welcome to the stream. Shout out when you come in. Please hit the like button and answer the poll question of the day. Should we do a quadruple stack today or a double stack? Actually, it looks like it might. The market might decide for us. If it drops below our lowest purchase we ever had in 2025, then we'll do a quad stack. Okay. All right, let's get this started. Derry Duke in the house, a quad, bro. Let's go. I just asked the resident Bitcoin bullish fortune teller, Boltar, if he thinks that Bitcoin will go down to 73K, and he said outlook good. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. All right, let's do the first segment of the show. Of course, here we go. Bitcoin strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $83,408.39. The Bitcoin price has dropped, and we are now able to purchase 1,199 satoshis for a single dollar. Just remember, it wasn't that long ago, a couple weeks ago, where you wouldn't even get 1,000 satoshis for a dollar. Now you're getting 1,200 satoshis for a dollar. What a deal! What a deal! It's like 30% off almost, right? Is it 30% off? How much off is it off of its high? Bitcoin's high. Dang, it's so crazy. Seeing that big drop. Even let's see here. Bitcoin is down today, right now, about 23% off its high. It's gone down as far as 28% from the high of 108 or 107, 109. Yeah, 109 all-time high. Hard Huddle in the house. Also, Derry Duke. Round of applause from the live studio audience for the boys. Sorry I jumped on a little bit early, guys, today. I got some stuff I need to do, and I can't shift the schedule around. And instead of just canceling the show today, I just jumped on a little bit early. Okay? So, that's the same stuff. We're covering the same stuff. That's the current price of Bitcoin, $83,350. You can get 1,199 satoshis for a single dollar. What is a satoshi? A satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million satoshis. You don't have to save up $83,000 to buy a Bitcoin. You save in Bitcoin. Okay, so you can start buying as little as, like I said, 1,000 satoshis for about $1. And those 1,000 satoshis, those 0.00001 Bitcoin, have the same properties as the whole Bitcoin. Okay, it'll shield that value from inflation, and it'll start to appreciate and gain purchasing power over time against the dollar. Okay, now let's get back to the regular screen and get ready for this, guys. We're gonna look at our holdings for the year of 20. Oh no, we're not looking at the holdings yet. We're gonna do the Why We Stack Pipeline podcast. Yeah, today's an exception for the schedule. I apologize for not warning you guys. I had something that came up around the time or I normally stream, so I can't stream at that hour. So I had to do it a little bit early just so we can get the show done today, so we can stack on this crazy dip, and so I don't leave you guys hanging. I don't want to miss episodes anymore. I just want to try to get things done, even if I have to shift the schedule around. So I apologize for changing the schedule on you guys just for today. Monday we'll be back to the regular hour. Okay. All right. So let's jump into the segment. Why we stack? Why we stack? Why we stack? I almost messed that up. Why we stack? Okay. So the thesis is not changed since before the election, since after the election, since before the last election. Okay? The thesis remains the same. Whoever is in office is going to cause all kinds of chaos and print money, okay, and continue to expand the money supply, whether it's for tax cuts for the rich or social services for people that need it, that are in need. It doesn't matter. Both parties spend money that they don't have, that they borrow from future generations' prosperity, from your kids, from your kids' kids, from your kids' 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 prosperity, okay? And the way they get that funds, the way they get those funds, the way they gain that value is by a process called inflation. As you save in the dollar and they expand the money supply, the purchasing power of those individual dollars that you're holding in your savings account goes down. And so they're debasing you because they're taking some of that purchasing power from your dollars from the past and assigning it to their dollars from the future. So the dollar becomes more abundant, less scarce. Therefore, each individual unit of that dollar has less and less purchasing power, less and less value, right? But since the whole system is valued in dollars, is denominated in dollars, it's hard for you to get out of the matrix and see that the whole system is getting debased. Okay, one observation you can make that you might think is a positive thing is when you see the value of your real estate go up. The value of your home that's maybe 10 years old or 30 years old or 20 years old continues to go up, right? The value of your home doesn't go up because your property all of a sudden got better, right? Unless you made some crazy improvements. But even then, if you just hold the property, it continues to go up in value. It's not going up in value necessarily. What's happening is it's reflecting that it takes more and more of the weakening money to buy the same stuff, to buy the same property. So a property you bought 5 years ago, 10 years ago, today could be worth more, right? But is it really worth more? It's not really worth that much more when you look at inflation and factor that in, right? If your home is going up in value 4 or 5% a year, you feel like you're gaining purchasing power. You feel like you're gaining value in your home, but you're not, because inflation is going up higher than that. 6, 7, 8% is the real rate of inflation, right? So you're actually losing money, because on top of that, you're also paying taxes on that home, and you're also paying insurance on that home. Those are hidden taxes, okay? Plus repairs, plus whatever, all that other stuff, okay? So that cuts into your 4% gains, and in the end, when you look back, you realize that you didn't even make any money. You actually lost a bunch of money, and you lost the opportunity cost of not being in Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin is like the ultimate property you can have with no minimums and no cost of ownership, no leakage, okay? So just like when you think to yourself, man, it would be great for me to get into a second home, or like to start expanding my realty portfolio, my real estate portfolio, right? And you don't think of all of the costs associated with that, like the purchasing of it, the maintenance of it, the taxes on it, the insurance on it, the possibility of the government changing the rules on you, saying that's zoned for this, but now it can't be zoned for that, forcing you to install solar panels or be more green or whatever, right? Those are all rules you were not expecting that will factor into the cost of owning that asset, for the sake of it growing at about 4 or 5% year over year, and in the end you end up losing money and time. Okay, so when you think of Bitcoin, think of Bitcoin as every single Satoshi that you're buying is like a lot of land that's on an island, and it's limited. There's only so many Satoshis you can buy. There's only so many Bitcoins you can buy, right? And what's the point? Why would I want to buy a Satoshi or a Bitcoin? What's the point? What does that matter to me? Well, because it's the antidote to the inflation you're experiencing, right? It's the answer to the debasement of the money, right? It's the answer that Satoshi Nakamoto came up with and gifted to the world when we started doing quantitative easing to save the banks in 2008, 2009, and basically was the beginning of the expansion of the money supply that's grown so much and continues to grow, right? So if you're wondering why you can't afford stuff and you're working 2 jobs and an Uber on the side, it's because the money is not working for you. The money is stealing from you. The money is getting debased daily, okay? And so you'll never be able to work hard enough or produce enough to outrun the money printer. It's printing faster than you can work and create value to offset the inflation you're feeling. Okay, so what do we do that? What's the answer? The answer is just to save in Bitcoin, right? Because when you save in Bitcoin, since Bitcoin is more scarce than the dollar, than the government money, and since Bitcoin cannot be debased, right, it functions just as property would, but without any of the limitations, without any of the what's it called? You don't need insurance for your Bitcoin. You don't need to pay property tax every year just for holding Bitcoin. You know, if you sell it, yeah, you pay capital gains tax, but we're not talking about selling it. We're talking about buying it, holding it, and watching the value of your savings that's in Bitcoin continue to expand in purchasing power. Okay, and I'm gonna show you some of that stuff today. Even though we're down, I'm gonna show you what the purchasing power of Bitcoin has been doing for the past couple of years since we've been logging it here on the show, to give you an idea, to give you a better understanding of what the potential of just saving in Bitcoin can do for you. And it's pretty cool. All right. So that is why we stack. Short version of why we stack. We save in Bitcoin because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for, as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. That's it. That's why we stack. All right. And speaking of stacks, speaking of stacking Bitcoin, let's do our stack recap. Stack recap. Because we don't only talk about stacking Bitcoin here Monday through Friday. We actually do it on the show live. And this is our tracker for all of our purchases so far in 2025. If you look at Bitcoin in a small window in the span of about two months, this past couple of months, January, February, and you've been saving with us, you would also be down 12% on your portfolio, which is like, oh, it's so scary, 12%, right? But it's not scary, guys, because these are not realized losses, okay? Just because the value of the Bitcoin went down in terms of dollars, it doesn't mean that the amount of Bitcoin you're holding went down, okay? You're still holding, a Bitcoin is still worth a Bitcoin, a Satoshi is still worth a Satoshi, right? So as long as you hold that value, hold that Bitcoin, it'll come back up as the market recovers, okay? So we are in full red for the whole year. Look at that. All of our purchases are in red. Today, the price of Bitcoin, right now, the price of Bitcoin is $84,017. Our last purchase was at $84,043. So since the price of Bitcoin is below the lowest purchase price we've had in 2025, today we're going to be doing a quadruple stack. Just like the poll says, 67% of the audience voted for a quad stack. A quadruple stack for us is $80. Normally we buy $20 a day, but if the price of Bitcoin is below the average purchase price we've had in that year, we'll do a double stack, which is $40. And if the price of Bitcoin is below the lowest price we've had in 2025, which is $84,043, then we'll buy a quadruple stack. That's what we'll be doing today. A quadruple stack. Quad stack. Okay? All right. Let's continue with the stack recap and do some of this other stuff here. Reclaim sats. No, this one here. Priced in sats. Priced in Bitcoin. Yeah, our my burrito is still 67% off since last October. Oh, since October 2 years ago. Oh, yes, since October 2023. Rent or mortgage is still you're still better off if you would have bought 15 million Satoshis 2 years ago. Right? Your rent was $2,500 or your mortgage was $2,500, and if you saved an extra $2,500 in Bitcoin about 2 years ago, you would have purchased 15 million Satoshis, right? And today, if you want to pay your mortgage, it's only going to cost you, in terms of Bitcoin, 2.9 million Satoshis, even at this dip. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Okay, that's like you're able to pay your mortgage for a year with 2 months worth of savings in Bitcoin. That's incredible. Okay, same thing here. Burrito cost me $13.70. October 3rd, 2023, it would cost me 49,000 Satoshis, 49,000 fractions of a Bitcoin. Today, that same burrito cost me 16,000 Satoshi. So it's at a 67% discount. My mortgage was at an 80% discount since we started measuring it, right? It's incredible. And I'm not saying this is my mortgage. This is just the mortgage that we calculated based off of the Google statistics for the average mortgage / rent in the U.S. When we started doing this tracker. Okay, so there it is. Short and sweet. This is what I mean when I say that if you're saving Bitcoin, it's like going back in time and giving yourself a raise, right? Because if you just hold that 49,000 Satoshis, or if you just hold that 15.2 million Satoshis that you spent $2,500 on, right? Now it's worth a lot more, right? Where you can pay your mortgage for 6 months with one savings of $2,500. It's pretty incredible. Okay. There's nothing like that. Okay. That's nothing that's special about me in any way or anybody else that's in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to do its thing, right? It's just scarce, right? It's going to continue to go up just because it's more scarce than anything else. You can't make more of it. So, without having to do any extra work, the purchasing power of my holdings in Bitcoin have increased. And then what does that do for me? Well, it frees up more time for me, right? It frees me up from having to work extra hard to make the extra $2,500 every month to make the mortgage, right? Well, now I have like with an extra $2,500 that we saved for 2 months, which is $5,000, we got 30 million Satoshis, and now those 30 million Satoshis are enough to cover the cost of a year's worth of mortgage. So, what would you do with the time what would you do if you had an investment that made you go from having to pay 12 months worth of mortgage each year to having to pay 2 months worth of mortgage each year? What would you do if you had 10 months where you didn't have to pay your mortgage or where you didn't have to pay your rent? What would you do? Right? I would just keep saving that, right? I would, instead of putting in the $2,500 that I'm normally putting in to get the extra Bitcoin and sending the $2,500 to the mortgage, with the extra money, I would just stack harder, right? But anyway, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool the way it works. And then that's just over about less than 2 years since we started doing this show, right? So it's a long ways since that, right? So with that, let's look at the 2025 stats. Yeah, we're down, like we said, 12% right here. And looking at the 2024 stats, because we also did a separate spreadsheet just for 2024. In 2024, we were down at the beginning of the year also, but now we're up 40% since that beginning of the year. So that stack is pretty nice. Okay, and the stack for the whole lifespan of the show? Well, we are at 68% gains. It's not bad. It's really good, right? From $12,000 saved to $20,000 is what it's currently worth. Still, even with this giant dip, it's still a good value to be holding your savings in Bitcoin. Okay. So just to wrap it up, this little section, we have 0.3394583 Bitcoin ready. And we're about to flip this 3 into a 4, hopefully, with this purchase. So let's do the thing that needs to get done. We know how much Bitcoin we're going to purchase. Now there's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some Bitcoin. All right. We're doing a quadruple stack. Quadruple stack. Going into the Strike app. Hitting the buy button. And keying in $80 worth of Bitcoin purchasing right now during the Stacked Bitcoin show. Hit next. At the confirmation page, we're going to hit confirm. Drum roll, please. Confirm. Sequence initiated. Buying $80 worth of Bitcoin. Oh. Hold the presses. We got an error. Hold the presses. We got an error. Let me close this out. There we go. Open up the app again. Buy 80. Next. Confirm. Oh! What the heck? I can't buy. I wonder what's going on. Let me try something else. I think it might be my routing equipment at home. Give me a second. Or maybe they're not used to me buying this early. Go buy. Next. Confirm. Wow. It's not working. It's not working. That's not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to plan B, a different exchange that we use. Let me see if it works. Give me a second. Let me get on there. Because we're not going to not buy. We're not going to not stack on the show right now. Jeez. Okay, damn. Let's see. That's it. 80, right? $80 stack coming up. Don't worry. We're buying Bitcoin right now. $80 worth. Let's see. It's pending. All right, so let's see, limit price is 84,399. 84,390. Buying $80 worth. Let's see if this works. Let's see. 80. Sorry, guys. This is a little bit awkward. Let's see, we got 83. Okay. 83, I think 83,250. 83,250. $80 worth. Buy. Okay, cool. All right. Here we go. Where are we? Back to the screen here. There it is. Okay, cool. All right, I can't show you that screen because it's got a bunch of stuff on there, but we can add the purchase to. We can add the purchase to the spreadsheet in either case. Here we go. So today is what, 2/28, the last day of the month. Dang. Put on some music back here. There we go. 2/28/25. 83,000. Where'd it go? 250. $80. 0.00095855 Bitcoin. 95,000 Satoshis. Let's go. Boom. All right. Here. Copy. Here. Paste. Move this guy here from. Where is it? Here. Boom. There it is. The stack is stacking. You copy this data to the other spreadsheet. Boom. Dang. There we go. Can someone please explain to me why should I buy MSTR when they are sorry. Why should I buy MSTR when all they are doing is buying Bitcoin, and so am I. I'll explain it to you in a second, Howard. Give me a second. Boom. Okay. There it is. And the holdings for the show. Do we get to 2.34? Let's see. Just like that, we are at 0.34041678 for the show. It's wild. It's wild. Let's talk about this question that Howard put in. Welcome, Howard. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Howard. Okay, so I don't buy MSTR. I don't invest in MSTR. I don't invest in anything else but the Bitcoin, right? But the BTC. And you make a good point. Okay, the draw for people to invest in MSTR, it's multiple angles here. If you have the liquidity and it's freely available liquidity that you have and you can invest into anything you want, then you probably put into Bitcoin, right? But there's some people that have liquidity that have been they've been accumulating in assets like a 401k or like a Roth or whatever, a retirement plan, and those you couldn't withdraw that money once you discovered Bitcoin and get Bitcoin with that money, right? Because it's stuck in there until you retire or you change jobs or whatever, or if you take it out you get a penalty, right? So those people would probably just buy the spot ETFs, right, or MSTR, because it's like buying Bitcoin, right? Well, the benefit of buying MSTR, if you have money that's already trapped in the market, is that MSTR will move it like it's like leveraged Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up a little bit, MSTR will go up like times 3. If Bitcoin drops, MSTR should drop like times 3 also. So it's like leveraged Bitcoin, but in the form of a stock, right? It's like going into an exchange and buying 3x leverage on Bitcoin, right? That's the way I would see it. You don't get any other benefits besides that levered gain, right? So if you're trying to trade it or make money that way, that's what you would do, but that's not what we do here. We just basically just buy Bitcoin, the real stuff, and take it into custody, because that's the only way you actually own it. MSTR has 499,096 Bitcoin, priced at 66,250. How much are you buying, Howard? Oh man, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Okay, so that's a good question. Great question, Howard. But yeah, I would just buy the Bitcoin itself. If you have that money that's freed up, just buy the Bitcoin. Take custody of the Bitcoin. It's not yours. It's all. Remember, guys, it's paper Bitcoin. It's not real Bitcoin until you withdraw it to your account that you have the keys for. Okay. All right. So with that said, we've stacked, we've cried, we've laughed. Let's wrap up the show today. To have a really good weekend. Don't let the market maker manipulate you and sell it into selling your stack. Do what you can this weekend to list some stuff. Have a yard sale. Go collect some cans. Go do some Uber deliveries, and get that extra cash to stack this dip. If it goes down to 73, stack harder. If it goes up, stack. Keep stacking. Keep stacking. Okay? It's the best thing you could be holding. Again, not financial advice. You have to make the ultimate decision and hit the buy button. But anyway, I'll see you guys back here on Monday for another episode of the Stacked Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later.